Welcome to LFN News, a production of LFN Media, bringing you the latest in celebrity news, with specific analysis to keep you in the know of what is going on around you. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. We also encourage you to share your comments in the comments section below and let us know what you think about the issue under discussion and any other issue you may want us to discuss in the future. R. Kelly, the Grammy Award-winning musician, real name's Robert Sylvester Kelly, who was convicted with federal racketeering and sex trafficking charges in September 2021, was on Wednesday, June 29 sentenced to 30 years in prison. Kelly, 55, didn't give a statement at the sentencing hearing, and showed no real reaction on hearing his penalty, which also included a $100,000 fine. This is probably because he is confident in his legal team and strongly believes the appeal will most definitely go his way. Though already convicted and sentenced, the R&B king denies any involvement in sex trafficking. At a press conference following the sentencing, Kelly's lawyer, Jennifer Bonjean, immediately made public their plans to appeal the ruling. U.S. District Judge Ann Donnelly imposed the sentence without any reservations at the federal court in Brooklyn, after hearing from the alleged survivors, who attested to how Kelly's exploitation allegedly reverberated in their lives. Several of R. Kelly's accusers told the court in New York City, and the singer himself, that Kelly had misled and preyed upon them. "You made me do things that broke my spirit. I literally wished I would die because of how low you made me feel," said one unnamed survivor, directly addressing Kelly, who kept his hands folded and his eyes downcast. "Although sex was certainly a weapon that you used, this is not a case about sex," Judge Donnelly told R. Kelly, following the decision. "It's a case about violence, cruelty, and control. You left in your wake a trail of broken lives," she stressed. She also addressed his lawyer's call for a shorter sentence due to the fact that R. Kelly endured a traumatic childhood involving severe, prolonged childhood sexual abuse, poverty, and violence, saying, "It may explain, at least in part, what led to your behavior, but it most surely is not a valid excuse for your actions." This explains what R. Kelly's legal team had put in the sealed memo seeking a lighter sentence for the R&B king, but clearly, Judge Donnelly made no consideration of these sensitive facts. Among the letters that were included in the memo asking for a shorter sentence for Kelly was one written by Diana Copeland, Kelly's former assistant, who testified as a government witness and said she wrote a letter in support of Kelly because it was the right thing to do. "God doesn't want us to throw humans away," Copeland wrote. "If we can have the audacity to care for the perpetrators as well as the victims, we can all rise." Joycelyn Savage, who was considered a victim of Kelly's by prosecutors, also remains an R. Kelly supporter. "Robert and I are deeply in love, and it breaks my heart that the government has created a narrative that I'm a victim," Savage wrote. "I'm a grown woman, and can speak for myself, which is why I wanted to provide this letter to the court." In her letter, Savage revealed she is now engaged to Kelly. R. Kelly's legal team remains very optimistic and are confident the appeal will be ruled in their favor. In reference to the infamous R&B singer's one count of racketeering allegation, Jennifer Bonjean asserts that her client was overcharged. At a news conference before being sentenced, Bonjean stated that they were prepared for whatever was to come from the sentencing, and that they were already prepared to defend the appeal. Authorities had initially asked the presiding official, U.S. District Court Judge Ann Donnelly, to sentence the 55-year-old star to more than 25 years, citing the need for specific deterrence and the need to protect the public from further crimes of the defendant. Meanwhile, his defense had requested for 10 years or fewer, citing that more than 25 years was unfair since it is tantamount to a life sentence for a 55-year-old. R. Kelly's victims were divided in their opinion of his sentence of 30 years, but some said they were grateful that the R&B singer was away and will stay away. Speaking outside court following the verdict, two women, who remained anonymous while reading their victim impact statements to the court, said they were proud of one another and were happy about the sentencing. Yovanti Cunningham, a former backup singer for Kelly, applauded the sentencing, telling reporters outside the courthouse saying, "I started this journey 30 years ago. There wasn't a day in my life up until this moment that I actually believed that the judicial system would come through for black and brown girls." In a speech made outside the court, Jennifer Bonjean described their plans to appeal, saying, "We are excited for this appeal that we are bringing. Obviously, it was a hard day for Kelly. He has been given a serious, unfair sentence, but we are confident in our arguments that we raised in our post-trial motions, and although they didn't persuade the district court judge, they will persuade the Court of Appeals. We've always believed in those arguments, and we believe that this enterprise was overcharged and that the Second Circuit Court of Appeals, will see it that way," she added. 30 years in prison is like a life sentence for Kelly, but at the same time, we knew the government was asking for 25 years, so we were prepared for what the judge might impose, while also insisting to the press that Kelly is not a predator. "He has regrets and is sad," said Bonjean. "But he disagrees with the characterizations that have been made about him. Our position is this was not a RICO or Racketeering Act violation," Bonjean continued. "These were isolated events that happened many years ago, and the government simply tried to plead around the statute of limitations to bring it in a RICO charge, which was inappropriate." Kelly is currently being held at a federal detention facility in Brooklyn and is expected to be moved back to Chicago, where he faces another federal trial in August on related charges. That's all we had for you today. In our next episode, we take you inside the contents of the private court memo that Jennifer Bonjean and her team prepared, including the numerous supportive letters. Thank you for watching LFN News, a production of LFN Media, giving you another view of issues at hand. To get notified whenever we post a new video, subscribe to this channel now and hit the notification icon. And remember to give us your comment on the subject matter below.